The world is a wonderful place, full of tropical island paradises, majestic glaciers, and lush rainforests. Sadly, most of those places won't be around forever. In fact, many of them will be gone way sooner than most people think. Here's a look at some parts of our world that will be gone in 100 years. The Great Barrier Reef. Officially designated a World Heritage Site, Australia's Great Barrier Reef is dying, with scientists expecting it to be irreversibly damaged by 2030. The reason? Carbon dioxide and global climate change. Coral simply doesn't do well with carbon dioxide, and the ocean is absorbing more and more of it every day. The world's leading coral reef experts all agree that the Great Barrier Reef's destruction is imminent, but it's not alone. In 2015 alone, 12% of the world's coral reefs became bleached. The Dead Sea. Just because it's already called the Dead Sea doesn't mean it isn't dying. The super salty lake between Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan is disappearing off the face of the earth, and it seems as if there's nothing we can do to stop it. In 2012 alone, the Dead Sea's water level shrank by an astounding 4.9 feet. So what's causing it? Well, it's due in part to exploitation by Israel Chemicals Limited and Jordan's Arab Potash Company, which are draining the sea in order to harvest minerals. 1/3 of the sea is already gone, causing sinkholes and massive damage to the ecosystem. Unfortunately, it seems the Dead Sea already has 1 foot in the grave we've dug for it. The Everglades. 100 years ago, the Florida Everglades were twice the size of what they are now. Today, only 1/5 of the remnants are protected as a national park, while the rest is being reclaimed by developers as the population of Florida swells. That has also caused secondary issues, with drainage into the swamp leading to nutrient pollution and the introduction of non-native species like pythons wreaking havoc on the ecosystem. As a result, the Everglades have been placed on UNESCO's list of World Heritage in danger. The rainforest. The 2 largest rainforests in the world, the Amazon rainforest in South America and Africa's Congo Basin, are both in grave danger of disappearing entirely by the start of the 22nd century. Thanks to massive deforestation, the Congo Basin is losing an incredible 3.7 million acres of rainforest every year, which in turn releases an estimated 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere annually, accelerating global climate change. And it's just as bad in the Amazon, where in the past 2 decades, nearly 300,000 square miles of rainforest have been destroyed, most of it simply by being burned to the ground by cattle ranchers. Considering those rainforests are home to thousands of plant and animal species that exist nowhere else in the world, we're not just losing trees, we're losing the legacy of the planet itself. Islands and coastal regions. Some of the most famous islands in the world are in grave danger of disappearing forever beneath the rising oceans. Located in the Indian Ocean, Seychelles is comprised of 115 picturesque islands famous for stunning beaches and mountain rainforests. Unfortunately, the nation is also sinking. Due to the massive die-off of their coral reefs, the islands no longer have a natural defense against erosion, leading the government to try shoring up beaches with giant boulders. Still, experts believe the country may disappear within the next 50 to 100 years, leaving behind just barren granite peaks emerging from the water. It's not alone. The Maldives are also in big trouble, as more than 80% of the country's 1,200 islands are less than 3 feet above sea level. Even the smallest rise in ocean levels could submerge the entire nation, a fact that the country's president has tried to bring attention to by holding cabinet meetings underwater. More than just islands are at risk. Coastal regions such as the Outer Banks of North Carolina are facing extinction due to rising sea levels and massive erosion. The Hatteras Island between Avon and Buxton is now only 25% or less of its original width, with houses all over the island now standing on makeshift stilts. And the world-famous city of Venice faces similar problems. A century ago, St. Mark's Square would flood roughly 10 times a year. These days, it's more like 100 times a year. Venice is fighting a valiant battle against the tide, but it may not be a battle they can win. Glaciers. Around the world, glaciers are vanishing at an alarming rate, endangering some of the world's most famous natural wonders. The ski slopes of the Alps, for instance, are in real danger of disappearing. Between 1850 and 1975, the major glaciers of the Alps lost more than half their mass, and scientists believe by the end of the 21st century, there could be a 70% reduction in snow and ice on the mountain range. It's the same in North America, where both the Athabasca Glacier in Alberta, Canada, and Glacier National Park in Montana are approaching their final days. Athabasca is expected to lose between 70 and 90% of its ice by the year 2100, while Glacier National Park has almost disappeared entirely already. In 1910, there were roughly 150 glaciers. By 2010, only 25 remained, covering a paltry 25 acres. The plight of the glaciers is echoed by the loss of one of the world's most iconic sites, the snowy peak of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Immortalized in prose by Ernest Hemingway's classic, The Snows of Kilimanjaro, the mountain's legendary icy peak lost 85% of its ice between 1912 and 2011. By 2020, it's expected to be completely bare. As adventurer Will Gadd told The Guardian when he climbed the mountain in 2014, "We were climbing up ice that's easily 10,000 years old and isn't going to be there next week. We camped up on top of Kilimanjaro for about 5 days, and some of the things we climbed on, we came back and they had fallen over. What we have lost, we will never get back." Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.